Hey everyone, Zachariah here, and welcome back to the channel. Get this, I was looking at my rent statement the other day and I thought, wow, this is getting a little crazy. It got me thinking, where in the world is it the craziest? Like, we're talking next level, I need to sell a kidney to afford a sandwich expensive. So I did a little digging, looked into the future, well, the very near future, and what I found was pretty mind-blowing. These aren't just places with high rent, these are cities where everything from your morning coffee to your evening commute costs a small fortune. Ready for a little sticker shock? Because we're about to go on a global tour of bank account breaking cities. We're talking about places so pricey, they make my apartment look like a bargain bin deal. It's a mix of stunning skylines, incredible opportunities, and price tags that will make your eyes water. So, if you've ever daydreamed about living abroad or just love a good, can you believe it? List, you're in the right place. Curious where your wallet will feel the pinch in 2025? Let's count down the world's priciest cities to call home. We're starting our countdown at number 5 and working our way to the most expensive city on the planet. Grab your popcorn and maybe hide your credit cards, because this is going to be a wild ride. Let's get into it. Alright, kicking off our list at number 5, we're heading to the beautiful, the serene, the incredibly expensive Geneva, Switzerland. Now, when you think of Switzerland, you probably think of mountains, chocolate, and those fancy watches, right? And you're not wrong. But you should also be thinking of a big, flashing dollar sign. Geneva is a global hub for diplomacy and banking, which sounds very important and, well, very pricey. It's like the city is wearing a tuxedo 24/7. The thing about Geneva isn't just one specific cost, like housing. It's everything. It's the cumulative effect of every single purchase. Imagine going to the grocery store for some milk and bread and feeling like you just bought a front-row concert ticket. That's the Geneva experience. The cost of goods and services here is legendary. A simple lunch out can set you back what you might spend on a fancy dinner elsewhere. It's a city where quality is paramount, but that quality comes with a very, very hefty price tag. You're paying for the incredible scenery, the safety, the cleanliness, and the efficiency. The public transport runs like a Swiss watch, go figure. And the quality of life is through the roof. But that high standard means high costs for everyone who provides those services. From the person who makes your coffee to the mechanic who fixes your car, everyone has to afford to live there. So those costs get passed right on down to you, the consumer. It's a cycle of expense. Think about this. A movie ticket. Simple, right? In Geneva, it's an investment. You're not just buying a ticket. You're funding the Swiss film industry, one popcorn kernel at a time. And don't even get me started on getting a haircut. You might walk out looking like $1 million because, well, it almost costs that much. It's a city where you have to budget for the little things just as much as the big things. The salaries in Geneva are high, that's true. People working in finance, international organizations, and tech do very well for themselves. But even with a big paycheck, a significant chunk of it gets eaten up by daily life. It's a constant balancing act. You're earning a lot, but you're also spending a lot just to exist. It's a different kind of financial pressure, one that comes with a beautiful view of Lake Geneva. So, why do people do it? Because Geneva is stunning. It's peaceful, it's international, and it offers a lifestyle that's hard to match. You're at the heart of Europe, with the Alps as your backyard. For many, the trade-off is worth it. They're willing to pay the premium for that unique blend of urban sophistication and natural beauty. It's a choice to invest in a certain kind of life. Let's talk about social life. Grabbing a beer with friends? That's not a casual decision. It's a planned financial event. You'll find yourself becoming a master of home entertainment. Potlucks and game nights become the new going out. You learn to be creative, to find the free and low-cost things to do, like hiking or enjoying the public parks, because your budget for everything else is just so tight. And it's not just for expats. Locals feel the pinch too. It's a city-wide phenomenon. Families who have lived there for generations have to navigate this expensive landscape. They have their tricks, of course. Shopping across the border in France is a popular one. But it's still a daily reality. This isn't just a city for the super rich. It's a city of very careful budgeters. The housing market is another beast. While maybe not as insane as some other cities on our list, finding an affordable place in a good location is a serious challenge. The demand is high, driven by all the international professionals flocking to the city for work. So you have a ton of people with high salaries all competing for a limited number of apartments, which naturally drives prices sky high. Ultimately, living in Geneva is about priorities. If you value safety, stability, and access to nature above all else, and you have the income to support it, it can be a paradise. You're paying for peace of mind, for clean air, for a city that just works. It's a premium service, and the city sends you the bill every single day. So there you have it, number 5, Geneva. A beautiful city that will welcome you with open arms, and then gently, but firmly, empty your wallet. It's a taste of the high life, in every sense of the word. A place where luxury is the standard, and the cost of living is just as breathtaking as the mountain views. On to number 4. Get ready, because coming in at number 4 is the city that never sleeps or stops taking your money. New York City. That's right, the Big Apple. The concrete jungle where dreams are made of, and where your bank account goes to die. I mean, we all know New York is expensive, but it consistently ranks up here for a reason. It's relentless. It's the kind of place where you can feel broke even when you're making good money. The number 1 topic of conversation, complaint, and general source of anxiety in New York? Housing. It's a blood sport. Finding an apartment is like the Hunger Games. You have thousands of people fighting over a shoebox-sized apartment that costs more per month than a mortgage on a house in many other parts of the country. And the broker fees. Oh, the broker fees. You have to pay someone thousands of dollars just for the privilege of them opening a door for you. It's wild. And it's not just Manhattan anymore. The "it's cheaper in Brooklyn or Queens" argument is getting old. Those places are now incredibly expensive too. The high costs are spreading like wildfire. You have to move further and further out on the subway lines just to find something that won't consume your entire paycheck. Living in New York means a huge portion of your income is gone before you even buy a cup of coffee, just to keep a roof over your head. But it doesn't stop with rent. Oh no. Daily life is a financial gauntlet. That daily coffee? That's $5, $6, $7. A salad for lunch? $15, $20 easy. Want to take the subway? The price keeps creeping up. Everything you do, from commuting to eating to just existing, comes with a New York City surcharge. It feels like the entire city is running on a premium pricing model. You want to have a social life? Get ready to open your wallet. A cocktail at a trendy bar can easily be $20 or more. A ticket to a Broadway show? You might need to take out a small loan. Even something simple like going to the movies feels like a luxury event. New Yorkers become experts at finding the happy hour deals, the 2-for-1 specials, and the free museum days. You have to be strategic to have fun. It's the sheer density of it all. You have millions of people crammed onto one island, all competing for the same resources, the same apartments, the same reservations at that cool new restaurant. That competition drives up the price of everything. It's basic supply and demand, but on steroids. And there's always someone willing to pay more, which keeps the price floor incredibly high for everyone else. And yet, people flock here. Why? Because it's New York. It's the center of the universe for so many industries: finance, media, fashion, art. The career opportunities are unparalleled. You come here to make it big, to chase a dream, to be at the heart of it all. It's a city that buzzes with an energy you just can't find anywhere else. It's intoxicating. That energy is what you're paying for. You're paying for the convenience of having anything you could possibly want available 24/7. You're paying for the culture, the diversity, the sheer spectacle of it all. You can walk out your door and see a dozen different movies, eat food from 100 different countries, and stumble upon world-class art, all within a few blocks. That's the magic of New York. But that magic comes at a cost, and it can be draining. The constant financial pressure can wear you down. You see people working 2-3 jobs just to make ends meet. The hustle is real. It's a city that demands a lot from you, not just your time and energy, but your money. It's a trade-off that millions are willing to make, but it's not for the faint of heart. Even tourists feel it. They come for a vacation and leave with their savings depleted. A week in New York can cost as much as a month in other places. The hotel prices alone are staggering. It gives you a small taste of what residents deal with every single day. It's a constant calculation of what you can and can't afford to do. So New York City, at number 4. It's a place of incredible highs and financially crushing lows. It's a city that will challenge you, inspire you, and absolutely drain your bank account. It's a love-hate relationship for many, but for those who stick it out and make it work, there's no other place on earth they'd rather be. It's the ultimate test of your ambition and your budget. All right, we're back in Switzerland for number 3 on our list. This time, we're in Zurich. If Geneva is the diplomatic, stately cousin, Zurich is the cool, rich, business-savvy one. It's Switzerland's largest city and its economic powerhouse. This is where the big money in banking and finance lives, and trust me, the lifestyle reflects that. Zurich doesn't just whisper wealth, it announces it with a confident, well-tailored swagger. Zurich consistently battles for the top spot on these lists, and for good reason. It combines some of the highest salaries in the world with some of the highest costs of living. So while you might be earning a fantastic paycheck working for a big bank or a tech company, a huge slice of that pie is immediately gobbled up by your monthly expenses. It's a city of high inputs and high outputs, financially speaking. Let's talk about the lifestyle. Zurich is pristine. It's incredibly clean, safe, and efficient. Everything runs perfectly. This perfection, however, is not free. It is paid for by some of the highest prices for everyday goods and services you'll find anywhere on the planet. Think Geneva's prices, but maybe with an extra business expense fee tacked on. A simple cup of coffee can feel like a luxury purchase. The city is built around Lake Zurich, and it's absolutely beautiful. In the summer, the whole city seems to live on the water. But enjoying that beauty often comes with a price. Even public activities can feel expensive. But this is the trade-off. You're paying for an exceptionally high quality of life. The air is clean, the public schools are excellent, and you feel safe walking anywhere at any time of day or night. What really sets Zurich apart is the cost of the fun stuff. Entertainment, hobbies, and dining out are where your budget really gets put to the test. A dinner for two at a mid-range restaurant can easily run into the hundreds of dollars. Going out for drinks is a special occasion, not a casual weeknight activity for most people. Residents become experts at hosting dinner parties and finding joy in simpler, less expensive pleasures. Housing in Zurich is, you guessed it, astronomically expensive. The demand for apartments in the city center is fierce, driven by the constant influx of high-earning professionals from all over the world. This creates a hyper-competitive market where landlords can charge premium rates. Many people end up commuting from smaller towns outside the city just to find more reasonable rent. But here's the thing. Despite the cost, people love living in Zurich. The work-life balance is often much better than in other major financial hubs like New York or London. The Swiss culture values leisure time, family, and being outdoors. So while you work hard, there's a real emphasis on enjoying life outside the office, even if you have to budget carefully for it. The city is a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts. You can finish your workday at a global bank and be hiking up a mountain or swimming in the lake within an hour. That kind of access to nature is a huge part of the appeal, and for many, justifies the high cost of living. You're not just paying for an apartment, you're paying for a lifestyle that seamlessly blends urban life with the great outdoors. The high salaries are the key that makes it all possible. Without the corresponding high incomes, the city would be completely unaffordable for most. It's a balanced ecosystem of high wages and high prices. The challenge for many is that while their salary might be high, their disposable income, the money left over after all the bills are paid, can feel surprisingly small. Think about the services. Everything from childcare to a gym membership is top tier, and you pay for that quality. Childcare costs in Zurich are among the highest in the world, which can be a major financial burden for families. It's a city that is perhaps best suited for high-earning professionals, either single or as a couple, before they have the added expenses of children. So, Zurich lands at number 3 because it represents the pinnacle of a high-cost, high-quality lifestyle. It's a city that offers immense professional opportunities and an unparalleled quality of life, but it demands a significant financial commitment in return. It's a beautiful, efficient, and orderly place where your budget needs to be just as orderly to survive. It's the price you pay for perfection. All right, moving across the globe for our number 2 spot, we land in the dazzling city-state of Singapore. This place is a marvel of modern engineering and urban planning. It's a tiny island that has transformed itself into a global powerhouse for finance, tech, and trade. But this futuristic vision comes with a price tag that is, frankly, out of this world. For years, Singapore has been at or near the top of these lists, and 2025 is no different. The first thing you need to know about Singapore is that space is the ultimate luxury. It's a small, densely populated island, so real estate is incredibly valuable. The government has very strict regulations on land use and housing, which keeps prices sky high. Whether you're renting a condo or buying a government-subsidized HDB flat, you're going to be paying a premium for every single square foot. But let's talk about the one thing that truly makes Singapore stand out in the world of high costs: cars. Owning a car in Singapore is a symbol of serious wealth. the government actively discourages car ownership to manage traffic and pollution. To buy a car, you first need to bid for a Certificate of Entitlement, or COE. This certificate alone can cost more than a luxury car in another country. Then you have to actually buy the car, which is also heavily taxed. It's mind-boggling. Because of this, most residents rely on Singapore's world-class public transportation system. It's efficient, clean, and connects the entire island. Taxis and ride-sharing services are also popular, but even those can add up. The high cost of personal transport is a fundamental part of life in Singapore, and a major contributor to its ranking as one of the most expensive cities. Beyond housing and cars, everyday life in Singapore can be a mixed bag. You can find cheap, delicious food at the famous hawker centers, which are a cornerstone of Singaporean culture. A fantastic meal there might only cost you a few dollars. But step into a mid-range restaurant or a supermarket, and the prices can be shocking. Imported goods in particular are very expensive due to taxes and import costs. The government's strict regulations extend to many aspects of life, which contributes to the cost. There are heavy sin taxes on things like alcohol and tobacco, making them incredibly expensive compared to other countries. This is all part of a deliberate strategy to shape public behavior and maintain a certain standard of living and social order. It's a highly managed society, and that management comes at a cost. So why is it so popular? Opportunity. Singapore is a magnet for talent from all over the world. It's a major business hub for Asia, with countless multinational corporations setting up their regional headquarters there. The salaries are high, the tax rates for individuals are relatively low, and it's an incredibly safe and stable place to live and work. For ambitious professionals, it's a land of opportunity. The quality of life is exceptional. It's one of the greenest cities in the world, with lush parks and nature reserves integrated into the urban landscape. The education system is world-renowned, and healthcare is top-notch. It's a fantastic place to raise a family, provided you can afford the high cost of education and childcare. It's a city that invests heavily in its infrastructure and its people. Living in Singapore is like living in the future. You have the stunning architecture of Marina Bay Sands, the futuristic gardens by the bay, and the world's best airport. It's a city that is constantly innovating and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. That excitement and dynamism are a huge part of the appeal. You feel like you're at the center of progress. But there's no escaping the financial pressure. Expats and locals alike are always conscious of the cost of living. You learn to be savvy, to mix the cheap eats at hawker centers with occasional splurges. You take advantage of the amazing public transport and maybe put that dream of owning a car on the back burner indefinitely. It's a city that forces you to be smart with your money. In the end, Singapore's spot at number 2 is well-earned. It's a unique case where deliberate government policy, limited space, and incredible economic success have combined to create one of the most expensive environments on Earth. It's a city that offers a glimpse of an urban utopia, but asks for a significant portion of your income in return for admission. It's a trade-off between cost and an unparalleled standard of living. And here we are, the moment you've been waiting for. The city that takes the crown, the heavyweight champion of high costs, the #1 most expensive city in the world to call home in 2025 is Hong Kong. This is not a surprise for anyone who follows these lists. For years, Hong Kong has been in a league of its own when it comes to the cost of living, and it shows no signs of changing. The story of Hong Kong's expense starts and ends with one thing: real estate. It is, without exaggeration, the most expensive housing market on the planet. The combination of a massive population, a thriving economy, and an extremely limited amount of usable land hemmed in by mountains and sea has created a perfect storm for sky-high property prices. We're talking about prices that make New York and London look reasonable. The tales of Hong Kong apartments are legendary. Micro-apartments and coffin homes are a grim reality for many. People pay exorbitant amounts of rent for spaces so small you can touch both walls at the same time. Even for well-paid professionals, a large portion of their income goes directly to their landlord for a modest, often tiny, apartment. The dream of owning property is simply out of reach for the vast majority of residents. This housing crisis affects everything. Because commercial rent is also insanely high, those costs are passed on to consumers. That's why a simple bowl of noodles, a cup of coffee, or a t-shirt at a shop costs more than you'd expect. Every business, from the smallest noodle stall to the biggest luxury brand, has to pay the rent, and that cost is baked into the price of everything you buy. But let's be clear, Hong Kong is an incredible city. It's a pulsating, energetic, 24/7 metropolis that is a vital bridge between East and West. The energy here is electric. It's a global center for finance, logistics, and trade. The career opportunities are immense, and for those in the right industries, the salaries can be very high. It's a city where fortunes can be made. The food scene is one of the best in the world, from Michelin-starred restaurants to humble dim sum joints. The public transportation system, the MTR, is a miracle of efficiency that whisks millions of people around the city every day. And despite being one of the most densely populated places on Earth, you're never far from stunning nature. You can be in the heart of the urban jungle 1 minute and hiking a mountain trail with breathtaking views the next. This juxtaposition is what makes Hong Kong so unique. It's a city of extreme contrasts. Extreme wealth lives alongside extreme density. Towering skyscrapers cast shadows over ancient temples. The fast-paced world of international finance coexists with traditional cultural practices. It's a city that is constantly in motion, a whirlwind of sights, sounds, and smells. Living here requires a certain mindset. You have to accept the lack of space as a fact of life. You learn to live vertically. You socialize outside the home, in restaurants, bars, and parks, because your apartment might not be big enough to host guests. Your life expands to fill the city itself, rather than being contained within the four walls of your home. The financial pressure is immense and constant. It shapes people's life decisions: when to get married, whether to have children, what career path to follow. Every choice is weighed against the backdrop of the city's incredible cost. Even with a high salary, saving money can be a monumental challenge when so much of it is consumed by basic necessities like rent. So why do millions of people choose to live here? For the same reason people climb Everest. For the challenge, for the opportunity, for the view from the top. It's a city that pushes you, that demands your best. It offers a life of unparalleled excitement and dynamism. It's a place where you feel connected to the pulse of the global economy and culture. So there it is. Hong Kong. A city of staggering beauty, boundless energy, and a cost of living that is simply in a class of its own. It holds the title of the world's most expensive city by focusing the immense pressures of a global population and economy onto a tiny, precious piece of land. To live in Hong Kong is to understand the true meaning of the word expensive. So there you have it, a trip around the world to the 5 most expensive cities to call home in 2025. From the pristine order of Geneva and Zurich, to the non-stop hustle of New York, the futuristic vision of Singapore, and the extreme density of Hong Kong. Each city offers incredible opportunities and a unique lifestyle, but it all comes with a serious price tag. It really makes you appreciate what you have, and maybe makes your own rent or mortgage feel just a little bit more manageable. These cities are more than just expensive places to live. They are global centers of culture, finance, and innovation. They attract the ambitious, the dreamers, and the talented from all over the world, creating a competitive, dynamic environment that drives prices up for everyone. It's a fascinating look at how geography, policy, and economic power shape the daily lives and bank accounts of millions of people. It's a high-stakes game of trade-offs, where you exchange money for opportunity, convenience, and a certain quality of life. Now I have to ask you guys, after seeing this list, what do you think? Is the high price worth it for the experience of living in one of these incredible places? Have you ever lived in or visited any of them? Think you could afford to live in any of these cities? Let us know in the comments below. I can't wait to read what you have to say. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.